Hello, welcome to Sound of Fury Book Reviews. As usual, I am Tina. Today I'm doing a book review of Children of Ruin by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is the sci-fi book from 2019 from Tor. We're going on an adventure. Okay, not really. I don't leave my house. And this might not be the longest review of all time because it took me 2 months to listen to this on Audible because I'm just so busy in the summer. In the winter, I like to hunker down and do puzzles or paint by number, things like that. So yeah, I have learned that try to just do short audiobooks in the summer. Anyway, as I mentioned, I got this book on Audible, and the narrator is the same as the Children of Time. So I loved that aspect of it because I thought she was really great. So, what is this book about? First of all, spoilers for book one, Children of Time. As to be expected in a sequel, it's obviously going to spoil things for the first book. So, I'm going to read the synopsis of book two. There's no spoilers for book two in this review, but there are spoilers for book one. Anyway, thousands of years ago, Earth's terraforming program took to the stars. On the world they called Nod, scientists discovered alien life, but it was their mission to overwrite it with the memory of Earth. Then humanity's great empire fell, and the program's decisions were lost to time. Eons later, humanity and its new spider allies detected fragmentary radio signals between the stars. They dispatched an exploration vessel hoping to find cousins from old Earth. But those ancient terraformers woke something a Nod better left undisturbed. The majority of what happens in this book takes place actually before what happens in the first book, which I thought was really interesting, and kind of the idea behind how long it takes to travel through space and things like that. I just love that that was addressed because that's usually not addressed in like space opera, so that was kind of one of the things I really liked about this book. The thing is though, was this book as good as the first one? I mean, no, but in the sense that straight up chocolate ice cream isn't as good as chocolate ice cream with chocolate syrup and marshmallows and brownie bits and M&Ms, or like how the hottest smoke show of a person you've ever met isn't as amazing as the hottest smoke show of a person you've ever met who also happens to be witty and have a sense of humor. So if you're debating whether to listen, read to Children of Ruin if you love Children of Time, yes, definitely do it. You won't be disappointed in the sense of it being like a letdown. It's just not as mind-blowing as the first. Why is this the case? For me, I didn't care about the characters as much. They were interesting, varied people, but I missed Holston and Lane. I liked Helena and this iteration of Portia, and Baltila and Sankovi and Fabian were great. I just wasn't as into them. This could be because of the fact that I was listening to the audiobook for so long that it dragged out quite a bit, and maybe I just wasn't as kind of in tune with them as I would have been if I was reading it right not in that way, if that makes sense. So this might be a me problem. Likewise, while sea creatures are awesome, I mean, I have one on my, which arm here? This arm. There you can see my little friend there. My favorite one, obviously, are squids. Octopuses, which is the correct way to say it technically, as the book points out, and then goes on to use the more fun to say octopi, are fun, but they weren't as interesting to me as the spider development in Children of Time, mainly because while they had an interesting social structure, the octopi, it wasn't as complex as the portias, and it wasn't as like long, and it didn't really have as much social structure dynamics. Never would have thought in my wildest dreams that I prefer spiders to cephalopods, but okay. I did find the main antagonist of the story to be interesting, but it's also something we've seen in various horror movies, so it wasn't new to me. I was just kind of like, oh, this, okay. I guess also I found the story dragged a little bit, and then the wrap up at the end was a bit too easy. Like when I was listening to Children of Time, I never was like, okay, move on, move on. I was more like, oh, when are we gonna get to this part? Oh, when are we gonna get to this part? Like I was equally entranced with both storylines. Where I found that this one, I was kind of like, okay, I get it. I get it how the octopuses talk to each other. Blah blah blah. Now, I did love Tchaikovsky's writing. He's amazing. What else can I say? His writing is the smoke show and the chocolate ice cream with the brownie bits. B, I loved Kern and her plots. I love me a devious, hyper-intelligent woman in STEM. And C, the horror elements of the story, as much as I'd seen them before in various other media, were visceral and very fun. He does horror very well, and I was like, oh, I could use a lot more of this, actually. Overall, the characters are likable, the prose is wonderful, and the concepts are fascinating, but it just wasn't Children of Time, you know what I'm saying? Am I going to listen to book 3? Of course I will, but I'm probably going to do it in the winter when I can break out the puzzles and listen to it, a longer duration. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you had the same kind of reaction, if you thought it was better than the first one. I am very curious. So yeah, thanks for watching.